Okay. Welcome, Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to the 38th GITEX. My name is Jimmy. I'm the regional manager for Middle East, Turkey and Africa for Tridium. Well, just to give you a quick intro of Tridium, most of you have heard this company Honeywell. So Tridium is a part of Honeywell. We were acquired way back in 2005. We have over 600,000 instances of IoT installations worldwide, over 75 plus countries, 20,000 plus certified engineers, and 1,000 plus developer certified engineers. So when we say developer certified, the platform is open, not a locked-up platform, which allows partners or anybody to develop their own application or drivers for IoT. Yeah, just to summarize, Tridium is the name of the company. Niagara is what we call as the IoT platform, and J's controller, what you see in here, that's the IoT gateway. Now, just to give you a quick heads up, since we're talking about connected buildings here or connected industries, this single controller here, what you can see, can literally connect one full building or two or multiple buildings. It can take 10,000 points, what we call. Yeah, it's scalable. So you can start with 100 points, 200, 500, 5,000, up to 10,000 points. So typically a building with a complete HVAC, lighting, CCTV, access control, all of them you can integrate onto this IoT gateway, and then you can connect it to the cloud or any other enterprise application. So the topic is on connected buildings. So when we say connected buildings, typically there is a lot of physical element that comes to it. So it could be HVAC, it could be fire alarm, CCTV, all of them are literally physical things which you want to take to the digital world. So everybody's talking about digitization today, but it's not that easy to take your data and normalize it, and then you take it to a digital world to do any enterprise application. So these are typically what you would see in a building. It could be HVAC, lighting, blinds, CCTV, fire, and so on and so forth. And each one of them having different languages talking. Open protocol, what we hear in the industry, it could be Modbus, KNX, LAN. Though it's open, you still have many languages that goes beneath on all these physical systems. So literally the challenge is devices talking to devices. It's pretty complex. It's more like an end-to-end kind of a structure. So before you take or digitize your platform, you need to really remove the complexity of having a lot of these connections and having a big barrier of them not talking to each other. So what we do in Niagara over here is, the objective is first to normalize the data, irrespective of what the system is. It can be CCTV, fire, it doesn't matter which vendor it is. You bring in all the sensor data. So like as you can see in here, these are different manufacturers whose controllers are there down beneath. So you take it to the gateway, and the gateway, then what we do is we normalize the data. Yeah. So it doesn't matter on a structure, if you would see, it could be OBIX, MBUS, BACnet, KNX, any of this, doesn't matter which protocol it is. What is really important is to normalize your data, structure the data, and then you pull it out for any application. Right, so what's the secret sauce when you're talking about Niagara? This is what you will try to understand, like, what we're talking about Niagara. So on to my left, you would see typically what you would see in a building: HVAC, lighting, fire, CCTV, access control, UPS, and so on and so forth. There are many subsystems. And if you would go into a typical building, you will see each one of them talking in silos. They don't talk to each other. So what Niagara does is, it's a middleware. So when you look into an IoT stack, you have a middleware, right? So that's exactly what middleware Niagara is. But it's beyond that. It's a single tool that's used for normalizing the data. You can do presentation, control, integration, logging, connectivity, and all of that. And this is really important as a first step before you want to connect and take your data to the digital world. So once you have normalized the data, you can then take it for any enterprise applications. You want to do energy analytics, utility billing, service maintenance, and so on and so forth. Just a little more, if you are curious to know what we do in Niagara. Down below you have the industry protocols, BACnet, so on and so forth. So I just mentioned to you that we do a data normalization, but there is further beyond. What you can do is something called data modeling on the top of a normalized data. So if I have to tell you, let's say if you go into the Shakes Eyes Road and you have hundreds of buildings, and if you want to pull up the data from each one of those buildings, each building has got a sensor with a different name, and the digital world would not know what that name is. So in data modeling, what we do is, once the data is normalized, there is an open source software called Project Haystack, in which you can tag all this metadata. So once you tag them, Project Haystack is a dictionary, right? So even if any vendor, doesn't matter, Siemens, Honeywell, Johnson's, Schneider, they program it with a particular username, you can then tag it using Project Haystack. Then that again tags all your data. That makes you very easy in terms of running queries, making analytics algorithm. Today we hear big word analytics. We hear big word on AI, machine learning. If you want to achieve all of this, unless you have the right data, you wouldn't be able to achieve any of that. So otherwise, you get garbage in, garbage out. Huawei is one of our partners. They use their gateway AR505, on which they ported Niagara, and they use it for different applications. And it is on-premise. You can use it for enterprise application, cloud, and mobile. So the other thing is, what customers have some of the pain areas is today is who owns the data. So if you look at a typical scenario, we have the landlord, the tenant, the contractors, each one of them claiming that the data belongs to me. And literally, like, it's a struggle, it's a pain point. So one of the areas that what we have supporting is on this structure. If you see, wherever you have the data on premise or an enterprise or on the cloud or on the edge, we support now for you to have them on the cloud. So you have all of the data stored in the cloud. So even if your system goes down or anything happens, you have it all secure on the cloud. You can download it back again and restart the system. Quick project references. So Tridium, maybe as a brand you heard it. Where are these being installed? Just to let you know, so here in the region, we have a global footprint. You would have heard of Dubai Civil Defense, which connects various buildings. We have 6,000 plus buildings which are already connected, up and running with these gateways. All of them are connected using the JACE controller, what you see in here. So the JACE controller connects to the building and sends out the data through 3G or through 4G wirelessly to a command and control center. The other projects, Dubai South, which is the home for Expo 2020, where you see the headquarters, which has different subsystems, are all connected onto Niagara, onto the command and control center. And maybe you've heard of Dubai Silicon Oasis, DSO, the Smart City project, Dubai Silicon Park. Again, we have Niagara as a middleware that connects for the entire Smart City project. This project is a favorite of mine because there's one thing I want to show you is how scalable the software is. We're talking about 600,000 points. That's how scalable it is. Typically, if you take one building in terms of points, it could be like 3,000 points. So now where is 3,000? Where is 600,000? And the next phase of this project is to scale it to 1 million. So the software is agnostic, stable, where it is scalable, and these are not PowerPoint presentations, these are real projects where customers are using it and pretty stable ones. and Changi Airport in Singapore, Dubai Airport, Terminal 3 again, we're using Niagara for end-to-end integration of the complete subsystems. From the time a flight lands in to the takes off, all the subsystems that you can think of, access control, CCTV, BMS, all of them are connected on Niagara as a middleware. This is again another example of city of Raleigh in US, where it is used for smart city application, connecting more than 100 subsystems. It doesn't matter what the system it is. It's also used for car charging stations, solar panels, BMS, everything has been connected onto Niagara. So some use cases more, if you would go to Microsoft website and go under technical case studies, you can see some of the Tridium based applications that have been used. We have launched the MQTT protocol that allows you now to take the data from the edge to the cloud directly. So that's again some use cases that you can see in Microsoft. These are some real, it's not a dashboard that was made, but this is from a site from where we've taken the screenshot with permission from the customer. So this is some dashboard that is customized the way the customer wants to see. So Niagara is not only a platform, it's a middleware, it's a complete tool for you to do the engineering, graphics, dashboard, everything. It can sit in the gateway, it can be in the cloud, it can be on your enterprise application. So this is an example of how the dashboards are created. So however the customer wants. You want a daily consumption, you want a weekly consumption, customize the kind of alarms. It makes it more user-friendly for the customer to understand their data. It's one thing in the digital world to get the data and to interpret that into meaningful information what the customer wants. And so if you go to Tridium.com, you can see all of the case studies that's been used all across the world on different verticals, building automation, industrial application, data center. Niagara is also used for data center applications as well. Right, some typical applications, let me just quickly go to that. So this is again an application for a home automation. It's not a PowerPoint presentation again. This is for a project in Dubai, for a villa project, where you can see this controller here, over here. So that single controller is used to integrate your aircon, doorbell, CCTV, lighting, mobile apps, your audio, video, everything. That's how agnostic the software is in terms of integration. Doesn't matter which protocol it is. Doesn't matter which vendor it is. Yeah. Another application where we work very closely with IBM for integrating with IBM Watson, IBM Maximo. Doesn't matter what sensor data you get from the field, we connect it to the gateway and then take it to the IBM cloud through MQTT. Yeah, so it's a more structured data. So with the buildings, talking about the buildings, customers' need is increasing day by day. It's not just an old BMS that they want it to be sitting on the building. They really want to use the data beyond that. So if you look at the way the customer requirements are going, it's moving from a point where they want to go from a normal routine maintenance to a predictive maintenance. And these are some of the screenshots taken on how the graphical analysis can be done on Niagara. Yeah. So what was once a corrective maintenance, even today we hear about preventive maintenance. Customers want to move from preventive to predictive and precision maintenance. So some of these analytics tools help the customer to analyze some of the failures much before the damage can happen. And just imagine what, you don't have to take this data to the cloud to do analytics. You can do analytics on the edge. So there is an analytics engine in Niagara that can run within this. So you don't have to really worry about data privacy. Is my data going to the cloud? you can run an analytics in the edge. Yeah, so there is a big change in the industry with IoT coming in, change in business model, change in service model. What was once transactional change to contractual. Everybody wants the Uber of the service industry. And that's what we are seeing, the market change big time in terms of disruption. So where we come in is there are a lot of businesses who are getting into disruption in terms of changes and adapting to changes. We support a lot of businesses. That's how we work with a lot of OEMs. We work with Honeywell, Johnson, Siemens, Schneider, IBM, Microsoft. It doesn't matter, we work with all of them. So yeah, so what we've seen is established market-leading firms, products having a big change, and we support all of them. Question is, how would you look at your business, and how would you want to adapt to change? We have a huge community where we work with. One of the biggest strengths of Tridium is, more than the product, is the community. We have a huge community of partners, and that's what our customers, they benefited in terms of any kind of software development or integration. So feel free to stop by in case you have more questions. I'll be free to support you. Thank you.